happy autumn or happy fall, everyone. I get to soak in all these fancy colors of the season right at home. And my fur baby DuDu, he's napping on his cat tower along with these beautiful colors outside. And I want to record this serene moment in my art journal, quickly drawing these two lines for the frame of the sliding door. And I just drew that long vertical line to divide the door area and the wall area. Now, I'm drawing this fluffy contour outline of the bed, and then carefully tracing out the shape of DuDu's body that I see his little ear, and slowly tracing out the shape of his face laying down, which is a little tricky. The other ear is actually tucked underneath his face, so just one ear showing. Now I'm drawing the two closed eyes of DuDu and his little nose, and his little smile in dreamland. Okay, and then tracing out his masquerade mask, which has the tabby pattern, covering about half of his face. And then quickly swiping out the eyebrows, drawing his little front arm and his paw. This is his hind leg, which is pretty long compared to the front, and the pads. And then drawing the other hind leg dangling on the edge of the bed. And then his super fluffy black tail underneath his leg. Very fluffy, almost like a little raccoon's. And then suggesting the furry texture of the thigh area and the tail. Okay, so I think I captured his napping gesture pretty well. This is a very common napping gesture of DuDu laying on the cat tower. Okay, now I'm ready to suggest more fluffiness of his body and his front arm and the belly area. And moving on, I'm ready to divide his black and white fur areas. So DuDu's back is black and his belly is a white. So it's a very lovely pattern. There he is. He was a very good model. Okay, so now I want to finish drawing the cushioned area of his bed. It's a ring shape, and then the folds and wrinkles, some more furry details for DuDu's body. And then I'm going to doodle out the stripes of his masquerade mask. In these loose hatching lines. And then these choppy pen strokes for the furry texture of the cushion. And he changed position. But the cat tower stays the same. So now I'm drawing the cylinder, the scratching area, and the other little column, and this box where DuDu could hide sometimes, and writing down the day and date, Thursday, October the 3rd. Now I'm suggesting the three-dimensionality of these wooden frames for the sliding door and the upper windows. So when we're drawing these straight lines, there's no need to worry or stress on getting these lines perfectly straight. Just embrace the wonkiness. Now, I'm painting the fur underlay color of DuDu, which is diluted yellow ochre, and blending on a little bit of yellow-brown with a little bit of burnt sienna mixed into yellow ochre. And then mixing black into burnt sienna for the next layer, wet into wet. And then gradually blending on a bit more concentrated black. So the value of black is getting darker and darker as I'm doing the layering to get a sense of depth for the fur. For human hair and animal fur, it always contains many layers of color definitions. and using the leftover brownish gray to shade the rest of his body a little bit. Yeah, most of his body is showing like white fur from this angle and body position. But everything white is always shaded with a slight bit of gray, at least, depending on the lighting condition. Now I'm painting the cat tower using yellow ochre and a little bit brown, diluted with water. So it's a mellow tone. And then shade using leftover bluish gray in my palette and a little shadow from the little post. And now I'm gonna paint the wall behind, which is still yellow ochre. This is just the first layer. I could see other color definitions, and I'm gonna add those colors on those later layers. So just let that to dry, and DuDu, he just woke up. And DuDu spends a lot of time grooming every day. Okay, so now I'm ready to paint a bit more definition for the wall, especially the lower part, which is shaded using sensational bluish and purplish gray, wet on dry. Yeah, so having DuDu beside me when I'm painting makes me really happy. So I'm using cobalt blue and permanent violet to shade the wall. So the wall, as you see, is shaded behind the cat tower, as well as reflecting the colors from outside the windows. And I plan to paint the reflective colors later. Okay, so now I'm ready to finish drawing the sliding door. There's the middle bar there, dividing the door into two halves. And some more vertical and horizontal lines. Okay, and the rest of the drawing process, it takes a lot of patience to get these lines in. I just drew the folded up blind or the screen for the sliding door and the right hand side. And now I'm drawing the framed rectangular prism shape of the balcony and our house plant getting some sunshine on the balcony. Some more slanting lines and vertical lines. And it's always fun to record the change of colors or the change of seasons from the same windows of your home. And I think I sketched this exact same scenery of the winter snowy view outside last winter. Yeah, with DuDu on his cat tower as well. If you can check my older YouTube videos by scrolling down on my homepage, you should see that video of the wintertime sketch that I did last winter. Now, I just drew these major branches that I see beyond the balcony railing, the smaller branches and twigs showing in between the loose leaves. And this is the cherry tree that we get to see beautiful pink cherry blossoms every spring. And drawing the tree trunk of the maple tree even more behind, the curb and the sidewalk, and suggesting a car parked on the side of the street. The curb, yeah, with a little bit more definition, the windows of the car, pretty solid and clear. Now I'm suggesting just a few leaves dangling on the cherry tree's branches. When you're drawing a tree, you don't have to draw every single leaf that's out there. You can focus on the one that is more in the front, looking more prominent. So just getting these fewer numbers of leaves in. The other ones behind, I'm going to use layers of paint to suggest the volume of this tree's canopy. Okay, so just getting these leaves in. They're right outside the window, very close up. And I'm going to use my usual technique of using these squiggly lines to suggest the more far away leafy texture of the maple tree. So that's it for the drawing. Now I'm ready to paint watercolors to suggest the colors as well as volume for these trees. And I'm going to start with very expressive and loose brushstrokes of orange, yellow-orange, and holding the brush at a lower angle, like around 45 degrees. So I'm able to get these pretty chunky brush marks in, punching in some permanent red. Yeah, so right now I just want to focus on the colors on this door panel first. Yeah, some more permanent red colored maple leaves and in fairly light color values. Now I'm ready to work on the right hand window panel here, starting with these lighter yellow oranges. Yeah, and just blocking in this color pretty much for in between all these branches. And then some more diluted permanent red. It's like the mix of both of the maple tree leaves and the cherry tree leaves having different colors. And yeah, so these two colors, they are merging together, nice and smooth. Okay, so after these warm colors, I'm ready to punch in the cool colors of greens. So the lower part of these trees canopies, there's still a bit of green left. So this is lime green mixed with a little bit of lemon yellow, as well as yellow ochre mixed into the lime green. And these green colors, they're not too concentrated yet. This is the first layer for these trees. And the paint is fairly diluted, not too intense. Blending in a little bit of viridian green to show a bit of contrast. So I love the transition stage of these trees before they're turning all yellow, orange, and red. Okay, so grabbing some permanent red to paint the maple leaves behind. So the higher part of the tree's canopy is super vibrant red. And just starting with these loose brush marks. Every brush mark is a slight different value of red color. Now, wet into wet, a more concentrated red to show volume of these piles of leaves. Okay, and some more delicate small brush marks using my medium tip water brush now. So the painting speed you're watching now is just 2 times faster than my actual painting speed in real life. So yeah, the speed is very much very close to normal painting speed. Now I'm grabbing this greenish brown from my Mungyo palette, which is a really nice color to paint tree trunks. And then blending on a little bit of leftover blue to shade the tree trunk and branches. Okay, so now I'm going to keep using this brown and using my medium tip water brush, just using the few hair on the brush bristle, holding the brush close to 90 degrees, yeah, to get these thin strokes into the branches. And I want to paint the trunk for the maple tree close to the curb. So this dark brown color from my Mungyo palette is named olive brown, which is a really organic brown, very ideal for painting tree branches and other dark wooden surfaces. So the previous layer of colors of these trees' canopies are almost dried. Now I'm able to punch on these very sharp brush marks using my medium tip water brush to suggest these delicate little leaves. And so yeah, just summarizing the pile of leaves using these abstract brush marks. And I'm trying to vary the direction of each stroke as well as hand pressure. And each stroke, it looks kind of different from one another. And grabbing some permanent violet to suggest the shaded area between the leaves. And yeah, I'm going to keep using the same technique for these leafy details on the left side of the doors. So as you can see, those lighter values of colors, they seem like more far away because they're kind of like a faded out tone. And these stronger tones of reds and greens in sharper brushstrokes, they just visually comes forward. So this is how we magically suggest a sense of volume and or sense of depth in painting techniques. Okay, so now I'm going to add some shading tones of hidden reds behind some of the green leaves, which is kind of like a brown, red-brown tone. Okay, now I want to paint the lawn area using leftover yellow-green and darker greens, as well as our houseplant, the money tree. Yeah, using 2 values of greens. And as you can see, I have about like a 50-50 ratio between the greens and the reds, which is a really nice color balance of cold and warm tones. So if the leaves are all red or all orange or all green, it wouldn't be as interesting as this one. Okay, and now I'm ready to paint the reflective colors on the wall here using leftover red, super diluted, and the tone, as you can see, is very subtly showing on the wall. Yep, leftover red. A little bit more here on the higher part. And then moving on to the last stage of this painting is to paint these gray areas of the door frames and the blinds using lively grays, such as bluish or purplish grays coming together. And yeah, so pretty much all of these frame areas, they are against the light, so they are pretty much entirely shaded in light to medium grays. Now I'm putting on this medium dark gray over these large areas of door frames. And I see the door frame on the right is not as dark at the left side. And then I just punch on some reflective reds from the leaves on that thin thickness area of the frame. Some more leftover grays to paint the white balcony railings. Holding the brush perpendicular to the paper to get these very thin areas painted. Okay, so final polishing stage, adding shadow for that car parked close to the curb. Some sharper red-purple brush marks for the maple leaves. And a little bit more here. Okay. And some reflective colors on the frames. And here's the look of my finished double page spread. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. If you like it, please click like and leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for weekly updates. And let's see. DuDu, he is outside on the balcony. He loves nature. And I'll see you around next time very soon, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.